Now, I didn't watch this show when it was on YouTube, when it was on Prime Video, but now that it's over on Netflix, I decided to give it a try and I was invested. Get it, don't be timid when you ain't it, love upon it, give along, need it. I don't want no trip, baby, spend like My name is Ashley, and this is My Sweet Perspective, where I give my take on all things TV and movie related, and I am here to put you on, okay? You guys, welcome back to the channel. So happy to have you here, sweet peas. We are back today to talk Blue Therapy, the 8-episode series that dropped on Netflix just earlier this week, where basically we watched 7 couples go through couples counseling, couples therapy. And so I have notes. This isn't going to be a super long video because I know me, myself, Tyra at Struggle Reviews TV are going to have a live discussion to talk about all of this. Now, word on the street is this wasn't real. To me, it did not feel scripted. Now, did it feel like these couples were intentionally chosen? Yes. As I saw some of them do have influencers or whatever, but I was still invested because I think these are real life situations that happen in relationships. Again, there were 7 couples and we're going to go through them one by one. And I'll just give my quick thoughts on what happened and tell you guys what happened with each of them. Starting out with Daisy and Jay, these people did not like each other. Matter of fact, they were broken up when she found out that she was pregnant. That's how much they didn't like each other. But for the sake of the baby, they decide that they're going to get back together. And since that time, it's been a mess. She feels as though he is not an active participant in the parenting situation. Really, she says that she's really kind of mad because when she gave birth to the baby, he was there, but he the next day goes and gets a tattoo and left her there. Also, there's conversation around, is he cheating on her? He was talking to another girl when they were on a break. What really happened? Honestly, this is toxic as hell. Daisy says, listen, if it's a phone to go through, I'm going to go through it. I don't think anyone should be in a relationship and not go through their man's phone. I beg to differ. I'm not going through anybody's phone. I'm not going through an email. I'm not going through a phone. I have learned in all of my years that the Lord reveals everything. Nothing done in the dark will not come to the light. You don't have to go searching for it, baby. It'll find you. I promise. Every single time there was something to know, I dreamt about it. And I know people be like, dream? Yeah, I dreamt about it. I saw it. It fell in my lap. Without me searching, baby, the Lord reveals. I'll just say that. But again, she doesn't trust him. And she said that she's also ventured outside because when he confesses that he shared a kiss with this woman while they were on break, she kind of spazzes out and says, well, I've arranged multiple dates with this man. Well, did you go? No, but if he's hurting, I needed to hurt too. If I'm hurting, he needs to hurt too. She admits that she's going to match energy every single time. And again, this is just very toxic as hell. It seems like they want to be together for the sake of the baby, but 9 times out of 10, that's not enough. If that's the only reason a couple is trying to stay together, especially when they're unmarried, baby, that's not enough. Ultimately, they separate at the end of this. It just wasn't going to work. She literally, after the last session with the lady, the lady whose couch they were on, and she leaves him there. She hops in the car and skeet skirts. And so they're not together, but they're living their lives 5 months later separately and doing what they need to do. Again, that's what they had to offer. Next, we have Victor and Maria. Now, this was a weird situation to me. I believe this couple has been together for 7 years. They're influencers. They make money together, influencing and all of those things. When we first meet them on that lady couch, he looks like he could give a damn. It's as if he can't stand this lady. And she, who comes from a certain cultural background, says, listen, I've been with you 7 years. My mommy said, I'm just giving everything away from you and you have no intention to marry me. And he's basically like, no one's going to make me do anything I don't want to do. I'm tired. All my life, no one's just accepted me for who I am and what I want. And it's all about me, 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 me. Meanwhile, she's like, I just want to be chosen by you. I just want the benefit of marriage. And I really feel like it's completely disingenuous at worst, manipulation at worst, disingenuous at best, to think that there's no benefit to a marriage. Honestly, long-term relationships, they're fine, but in terms of recognition by the government, by medical professionals, there is a benefit to marriage for both parties, especially if you say you love this woman and want her to be an active part of your life. He's very combative. Again, he says that, no, I don't want that. The first session, we find out that she's been giving money to her family. I think like 10%. And but you're lying about that. You're lying about the money. You're lying. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, you just got here and showed your whole behind, and you're mad about her contributing to her family. We find out about a car apparently that mama paid for in cash that she made payments on, and he thinks she's still making those payments. And of course, she comes out and says, no, that car's been paid off. I just support my family. Nothing wrong with that. And I don't see what his issue is. We also have some cultural things here. I guess the first time he met the parents, he refused to bow. And culturally, that's something you do when you meet the elders, you kneel or whatever. And he refused to do that because he's Victor. Listen, and he's not bending, he's not breaking. Over throughout the whole time, for me, this was a very upsetting watch because you can see her pouring in everything that she can to this man who's acting very stoic and doesn't want to be bothered with her. Ultimately, they decide to stay together at the end. She feels like he's made the strides that she wants him to make. And baby, if that's what you like, I love it for you. I don't see it I don't see it through those. Honestly, he didn't even barely wanted to talk to the therapist. Next, we meet Mike and Yasmine. Now, Mike came in and I was immediately like, oh, he loves that lady. That's what I thought upon first glance. Later, I said, oh, he hates her. Any man that will put on clothes, wake up early, put on clothes, cologne, get dressed, and leave the house as if he's going to work and been jobless for a good while, you must do time. So here's their situation. They love each other, all of those things. However, he's got a spending problem. All right. First of all, she makes double what he makes in her position, and he's in debt. Now he's jobless. He's recently lost his job. And so now the onus is completely on her. He's been living, I guess, off a severance package that he received. But again, that's not lasting long because he continues to spend. When she finds out, she's devastated. She's like, I already knew you were a brokey. Or I accepted that, right? That I was going to be responsible for paying 70, 80% of the bills. And we have this young child. However, now you're lying to me. I feel like that's a dangerous liar. I think anybody who can lie about something like that and then pretend and follow it through, that is scary to me. Ultimately, I believe he finds employment as a postman. She's just trying to keep things together during this process, and he gets upset because she doesn't want to smash anymore. I wouldn't either. Broke makes the coochie dry. What can I say? It does. And the fact that you've been lying about it, she's like, I just feel like she doesn't think I'm attractive anymore. Sir, you have no rights. First of all, you're not her husband yet. You have no rights. You have no rights to this coot nanny. And if I'm paying the bills and I'm having to operate in all of my masculine, what ultimately, again, he gets a job as a postman. We have a scare. I think he's gonna go buy him an Audi, and I'm sitting here, if you spend one coin, he says he didn't because he thought of the family. She said, you better not have. But they're still together, and I believe she's pregnant again 5 months later, y'all. That was Mike and Yasmine. That's all I got for them. Next, we meet Debbie and Kelvin. And this one was very interesting to me because I really wondered about Debbie's motive in this. And let me start this out by saying, I get it, right? Because you do want to be prioritized by your partner. I get that part. However, if the alienation of time and energy and he wasn't spending enough with you, I feel like you would have left. But I think you like the money. I think you like the gifts. I think you like the pretty things. Although you said you wouldn't wear them to hurt him. But you knew this wasn't anything nefarious. He's trying to build something. So basically, Debbie and Kelvin have been together for a while, and he just doesn't have time for her. What we later find out is that his mother owned a restaurant growing up. She lost the restaurant. And so now he's been in position to acquire the restaurant. And so now he's trying to build it back up from the ground up as basically an honor to his mother and to the family, right? It's something very special, very close to his heart. He has 2 other jobs. He just doesn't have the availability that she wants him to have. so he can't make the time. And she's like, well, if you're not going to show up, if you're going to be late, if you're going to do all these things, maybe I need to do something else. He is adamant and feels like this is his wife. We get on the phone with mama and sister, and mama's like, I don't think she's it, baby. Here's my thing. I think compromise would have been easy. I think have mama come into the restaurant one day a week and give that one day a week to Debbie. Or on the other side of that, Debbie, hop your ass down to the restaurant and hang out for a minute. Get on his nerves. Hang out for a minute, eat some food. You know what I mean? I said it was like Portia when she dated the hot dog king. Go pop up at the job and just and go on about your business. I feared that she needed to have something else to do. And later, as we see them develop, 5 months after the whole process, she's got promoted at work. She's traveling. So now she has more varied interests and it's not all about him. And they seem to be thriving now. I don't think this lady was ever going to leave this man. I think she loved the fringe benefits of it all. And honestly, Kelvin was a good dude. I'm never mad at a man for working. I don't even care if it's too much. Especially in a business where I can go and pop up. It felt put on. Now, let's get over here to Monz and Shay, honey, the queer couple that we had on the season. Now, I know a cheating stud when I see one. I know one. And immediately when she popped up, I said, oh, that's a cheater. That's a cheater. And so we find out that they've been together, cohabitating and all these things, but cheating is the big issue and has been throughout their relationship. And they're just trying to find an easy piece. The issue is she loves attention. She loves it from anybody. And her main mission is turning straight women out, apparently. But ultimately, I knew that they were going to stay together either way. Again, I just don't trust it. If you don't have a modicum of self-control, that is not a good partner make, in my opinion. Let's go over here to Dommy and Germaine. This couple was interesting because they're married and they have 2 children. They had a third, but they terminated that pregnancy because of sickle cell, right? So we find out that at first she was the high flyer. She was the one who was making big moves in her career, but then she decides to get married, settle down, has a baby, and that takes a back seat. And now her husband is really that dude, Germaine. He's doing his biggest one, making strides, and now they're not connecting. He went to go see Usher without her in a box, went with his homeboys and left her at home with the babies. And I'm thinking this is an easy fix. Just get help, get a nanny, get someone to help so you guys can still be into each other. And we find out that there's more underneath the surface of that. He's just always wanted to be somebody. Even on the lady's couch, he feels like they're ganging up on him and making him the bad guy. And again, I think she just wants to know who she is outside of being a wife and a mom. And we also find out that when they did decide to get rid of that baby, it took a toll on both of them. Now, what I will say, what stood out to me is that they really framed this, the loss as, it was beyond their control. And my thing is, y'all went into this knowing what your genetic makeup was and that this was a risk, yet you guys insisted on trying again because you had 2 healthy babies. Then you decided you didn't want to bring a baby in this world that had the traits or whatever. I feel like you made a choice. Now, did you lose the idea or the hope for this baby girl, for this daughter? Sure, but people are living longer with sickle cell now, and I don't know. It left something on me. And then the fact that they said that they may try again in the future, unless there's a way to isolate those genes, why would you do that again? When apparently that's what caused the major fracture in the relationship. But y'all let me know what you think of that because that was very interesting to me. I didn't know exactly how to feel about it. Now let's get over here to Junior and Carmen. This is the 20-year relationship and he's got blue yachty braids in his head at his big age. And he's the man who lied about a vasectomy. They already have 3 kids, but she wants more because she said that her vision was always for a huge family. He can't get over the fact that she asked for a divorce on his birthday because they had fallen out. That seemed like that was the crux of their issues. Ultimately, she forgives him about the vasectomy and lying about it. And they say she acts right. Maybe one day I'll get it reversed. She's going to stick beside him. It is what it is. That, again, that's what stood out to me. that was kind of Blue Therapy. Like I said, we will have a live discussion and talk about all of these couples, but it was interesting. There's interesting dynamics in every relationship. In every relationship, there was a different issue to be addressed. So again, I'm here for that. Now, the optics of it, the therapist that they chose, these were choices. But let me know what you think. Have you watched since the YouTube days of Blue Therapy? I'm curious. We support everybody Black. Drop it in the comments. Be sure to comment, subscribe, hype, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And I will see y'all in the next video.